show me heaven, just to leave me down in hell. You don't come around here no more. Why'd you have to let me go? Let me know, no, no. Someday I will make you answer for all of your mistakes, but I'm way too weak now, crawling on all fours, searching for something to keep me from going crazy. But I'm way too deep now, I can't remember. Ooh, who I am, what I like, what I do, what I'm like when without you. Ooh, should've known you're too good to be true. You don't come around here no more. Why'd you have to let me go? Let me go, go, go. You don't think about me no more. Why can't I just let it go? Let it go, go, go. Why'd you have to show me heaven, just to leave me down in hell? You don't come around here no more. Why'd you have to let me go? Let me know, no, no. I really thought that I knew. I really thought that I knew where I had ya. I really thought we would be. I really thought you and me were forever. But I guess you had other plans. I wish I'd known in advance that way. Maybe I could've gotten my heart, but now I'm just back at the start. You don't come around here no more. Why'd you have to let me go? Let me go, go, go. You don't think about me no more. Why can't I just let it go? Let it go, go, go. Why'd you have to show me heaven, just to leave me down in hell? You don't come around here no more. Why'd you have to let me go? Let me know, no, no.
Welcome, welcome, everybody. Good to see you guys again. All right, let me hit this music now. I love that song, by the way. Welcome, guys. Hey, listen, a lot of cool things here. First one is for those who are on YouTube. What's up, Toro? For those who are on YouTube, what's up? It's been a minute. We haven't hung out in a long time on live. So it's funny. The last time I did live, also on YouTube, I actually had a great time. I was talking about content creation. I was just spending a little bit more of that honest time with you guys where we get to have questions. I get to look at the chat. We get to, kind of engage in ways that for me is cool. Is very, very cool and different than what I usually do content wise. But I also, what's up, Croc? I also wanted to do something that was going to give you guys value like we're typically used to seeing on the channel. So what we're going to be doing is doing our tier list that we do for season 21, 19, all the way down to season 1, now for 22. And we're going to be doing it live here on the show, talking to you guys a little bit about it while we hang out for the first time in a minute. So I feel like that's going to be a really cool time. Also, anything like getting some chat about what happened in Germany, talking about LAN, and just communicating what it's like being in an atmosphere like that. Definitely also that's going to go down as well. So all of those things just to say we are live, we're rocking, we're rolling, and I hope you guys have a good time. Listen, if you haven't seen the video, I want to show you guys that I made, but I can't really show it to you. I want you guys to go see it. You got to go see it on X. It's pretty funny. I was having a good vibe. I got this blanket from McDonald's, man, and basically I had this idea to put together. Let's bring it up here. We get our display capture going on. Let's just show you guys what I'm talking about. I had this idea to do this like Hall & Oates kind of walk up thing. Now I can't do it because copyright, but it's actually mad funny. Had a lot of fun doing something a little different, but we did a nice little, little tweet setting it up behind the scenes. I will do it live. What I want, it basically looked a little something like that. What I want, you got that mighty hard to handle. I like a flame that burns a candle. A candle feeds the flame. Anyways, it was hilarious. And I love doing a little bit of something different. So I feel like that was a nice start to the day. And now it's time to start into the real stuff because you guys have a chance to talk about Apex Legends, which I know a lot of you might be jumping on. Maybe you're catching the video a little bit later, and maybe you're jumping on stream. Welcome, everyone. Tuddy, it's good to see you as well over on Twitch. I'm also streaming on Twitch, so if you guys want to jump over on either platform that makes sense for you, do it. I feel like I'm literally a producer right now because I got two different monitors going on. But I'm excited to walk you guys through this, kind of start off and to know what this tier list is going to be, because it's going to be a little bit different, and I'm actually not going to be the one creating it. I'm gonna be the one describing it, which is a different version of how we've always done these tier lists. So I think it'll be interesting and effective for you guys, but it'll also be really, really fun. And before I go through it, I just got to say welcome to this stream, which is sponsored by McDonald's. The last time I was live, we had a McDonald's stream as well. One of the things that you guys can do if you want to chill, hang out, support me, go ahead and open your phone, check out that camera app, open it, and go to this QR code and get your McDonald's app. The reason the McDonald's app is a big deal right now is because of the GOAT. Now, I'm not talking about LeBron James. I'm not talking about MJ. I'm not talking about Kobe. Okay, LA born and raised. LeBron's getting up there, though. We can have this conversation. I'm not talking about Brady. And that goes to we the people, who's never not talking about Boston when I'm around this brother. I'm talking about greatest of all time offers. Okay. The app has actually got some really good stuff going on. You can get $15 off or 20% off just by using the app. So if you're feeling like McDonald's, maybe you don't want to eat out right now, maybe you're trying to just save for some things, but you're like, man, I would have it if I could. There's some great deals going on. So that's why I encourage you guys to download the McDonald's app. It's great as gamers. You know what we do. We sit, we talk, we engage. McDonald's helps us stay doing that with easy access to GOAT status. You know what I'm saying? The offers are limited, and they may not be at every single participating McDonald's, and they do exclude tax, but they're valid for once a day. You just got to opt into the rewards. So make sure to check that out. We appreciate you guys. And again, we'll be plugging that. I'll be ordering McDonald's on the stream, by the way. So we will be vibing and, eating per usual. But I think we should get into the heat of it. Hey, what's up? Doubt Doe. How does one wrap his mind around Doubt Doe? Am I just totally mispronouncing that? I probably am. Okay. Should I stand up for this? I feel like I could stand up for this one. But I think I'm just gonna chill. Have I ever had any formal training for presenting? Now, yeah, I have. I've done a lot of work in front of people. My dad was and is still a facilitator. He works in a corporate capacity, and he works in like a self-help capacity as well. So seminars, facilitation, and so those things that he's done growing up have always helped me to understand, how to work in crowds. And then when I was maybe 15, 16, I started trying to learn how to do that work, and I would present things, and that really did help. I had a natural kind of affinity for it, but I did get a lot of practice, so that did really help me right now. Okay, my friends, just curious if I already talked about it. What happened with Falcons? I did not talk about what happened with Falcons. It's a big conversation to be had. I did not discuss it. I don't know if you guys are going to want to chat too much about that, but I think it's a good thing to do. Yeah, to me Falcons, they had a very, this is for those who don't have context, super team in Apex Legends. And we call it a super team because over the past 5 years of Apex, really only 2 teams have won LAN championships. They've gone to LAN, which is the hardest and most, competitive environment. They won, and that was Imperial Hal on Falcons, and that was also Dark Zero with Zero and Jim Burton. Now, Zero had won without Jim Burton. He won with Sharky and JMW in Sweden, our first LAN back after all of COVID. And then they were able to take the championships as well with Jim Burton and Sharky. And I think that was actually Zainu who was able to do that. Actually, no, Zainu won Split 2 playoffs with them. So after that, Dark Zero became kind of this 2-time powerhouse. TSM also it's been a powerhouse, winning Split 1 playoffs again and then winning championships. But they lost Split 2 playoffs, which we just had last year, to Dark Zero as well. So now it was like Dark Zero has 3 overall. TSM has 2 of that year. Who's the GOAT, right? So they go into Split 1 and they lose. They lose to an APAC North team. And this is a team from Korea Obli, Sangjun, and Karmpe, and they dominate for Reject Winity. They win. They win pretty convincingly, and Dark Zero and TSM both split up their rosters, and they take Imperial Hal from TSM. They take Zero and Jim Burton from Dark Zero, and they team up together, right? So this creates a ripple in the entire ecosystem because you had TSM, you had Dark Zero, you had now this new APAC North team, you had all these teams who were really good. Now you just took the two best teams and put their best players, as we were thinking at that point, on a roster together. So Dark Zero disbands, TSM stays together, but they're trying to fill Hal's shoes, and that's what leads us into Split 2. That's what leads us into these current playoffs right now. And the biggest conversation around it is that there's just nothing that you can expect from this team except winning, because that's what they've done. They win and win and win. So they're getting paid tons of money. They go to EWC, which is in Riyadh, and they get second place, but they don't win. What's up, Malachi? What's up, Torfin? And then what ends up happening is they get all the way to finals. They're a favorite. And in this final day in Germany, they place not first, not second, not even 7th, not 13th, not 17th, 20th place, last in the finals. And TSM, the old TSM, with 2 of the remaining members that had gotten left, and now a new member in Zapto, plays within the top 5. I think they might have been 3rd. I'm not quite sure. And a new team in Space Station Gaming wins the LAN. So the question is, what happened to Falcons? To me, it's never easy to replicate success. That's why when people already, TSM is 4th. Okay, great. Thanks, Toro. People already underestimate success because what it takes to be successful is something that is so obvious when it's happening, but so not obvious before it happens. It takes a lot of work behind the scenes. It takes mental fortitude. It takes going through downs, risking not being rewarded, missing, and then finally getting closer and hitting the mark, but still a little bit of special something going your way. And when the Falcons got together, instead of continuing on their like rivalries and team journeys, it was kind of like, if you like basketball, Kevin Durant joining Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson on that Warriors team, and not winning a championship. To me, you look at combining players like that, and the only goal is to win a championship. So if they don't, it's a failure. They're already rich. They're already getting money. It's not about money. It's only about winning, and that's where it becomes, for guys who almost can't fail because they're so beyond other players in terms of their accomplishments. They set themselves up for their first big risk, I think, and it didn't go well. It was a failure. Now, doesn't mean that doesn't set them up for the greatest journey of all, right? Championships happening in Japan in January. They got 4 or 5 months. There's some BLGS stuff, but to talk about what went wrong is, there's not that much that went wrong. It was the entire situation beforehand that went wrong, because if they put themselves in a position where only one position out of the 20 that are available works for them, everything's got to go right. They can't have anything go wrong. Yeah, Space Jam talent still. I mean, so this is really where it ended up being an issue. And I don't really blame anybody. I think everybody was trying to do the best they could with what they knew. But it is from a perspective of their own narratives. They got hit and knocked down. Part of their hero's journey. What will happen next is up to them. I look forward to following that story, but it's not going to be the same thing, guys. And the truth is, it's going to be a low point for them for a little bit. I hope they take a break, relax a little, come back out there. I'm sure they will work harder than anything. I'm sure this is more fuel for the fire. They're certainly capable of winning. No one ever doubted that, but it's a matter of, when you've got people at a certain level Like when a team is at a certain level and another team is at a certain level, and we're talking about pros, we're talking about people who, this is not a ranked match, right? These are guys at a certain level that is just, it's a new game. At that level, people don't miss a lot of shots. People don't make terrible decisions usually. So what might have separated you when you're a predator and there's a silver against you and you're making the right moves, you're hitting all your shots, they're missing, that's no longer the thing that separates you. So what separates you now has to start being looked at as stuff that's mental, stuff that's emotional, stuff that's team communications and environment, physical sometimes, sickness, being on point, taking care of your body, game plan, coaching, strategy. Those become the biggest things. And that's just, there was something up. But yeah, I think that's a little bit of my spiel on what went wrong for them. Yeah, it was pretty crazy to see, by the way, guys. Not too happy with that. Do we have some emotes on YouTube as well? We do. Look, we got the Mamba emotes. So don't ever say those. When I say Kobe, we got to throw the Mamba emotes, by the way. YouTube has like some stuff I don't have on Twitch, which is kind of cool. Okay. So I'm doing well. Digital, I'm doing really, really well. And again, I already said what's up, but one more time, Malachi, because I was in the middle of that. What's up? Can I give you tips on how to improve public speaking? Repetition. Find somebody that you feel has a really good cadence and pace, and then copy that, watch that, learn that. Hi, Harsh Life. Nice to see you. Thanks for the love. All of those things are really, really important. So find those little moments and you guys will improve. But it takes time. I would expose yourself to a lot of things. Yeah. And it's not like go have conversations. I wouldn't do that. To me, I'm more like read, see people doing it well, see what happens when, you're successful, and what are public speakers doing that you like, trying to like identify what that is. And then when you do it yourself, you can more easily see where you're slipping from where they are. Oh, I say a lot. I didn't hear that guy say once. Wow, interesting. Ciao bello, saluti dalla Italia. Kiss from Italy. Thank you, Blue Moon. A kiss right back. Ciao indeed. I love Italy. It's my favorite place in the world. Thank you so much for showing some love. Okay, guys. Okay, it's time to transition into what will be a really important part of today and the broadcast and this season, which is the tier list competitively for Apex Legends, which has been decided after EWC and, of course, Germany in two different ways. EWC brought a lot of these legends up. Germany kept a few of them, and then Germany changed kind of a lot of the other structural elements of how this meta had been played. If I'd made this video 3 weeks earlier, you would be, pretty much playing the wrong characters. And if you had made it 3 weeks before that or 4 weeks before that, you might have been playing the wrong characters as well. It's pretty amazing how much things have changed. But this new patch, speaking competitively, has really shifted the way that we see the meta. And I'm going to explain to you what this bar is, because last time I go to this place called Apex Legends Tier Maker, and they didn't have anything besides OP, and then like undervalued and S, and I don't know if anything's OP. I really like this description. This is made from someone on Reddit, and I want to give them credit, but I don't want to lose this. So we'll see if I can give them credit right at the end. But if you go to Reddit, you could see this, and I'll try to link it in the video as well, so that just makes it easier. But standard meta, which is something that's seen in the meta as like kind of your go-to picks. These are pretty much the things people are going to play. Strong presence, characters that you'll see quite often. They're not going to be the standard meta, but they will be seen quite a bit in lobbies. It won't be a surprise. a decent presence, a little bit more surprising, but they're there. So while not every team will run them, maybe one team, out of our 40, depending on which lobby it is, will play one of these characters. Reject Winity or I don't know if it was Reject Winity's new team or there was another team from APAC North that was representing Valkyrie, and they were the only one playing Valkyrie, so something like that. Rarely played are characters that if you see them, they're so brief you don't even know they were there. There's nothing to talk about, nothing to dissect. You won't probably see them again. That's what these characters are. Never played, well, that's pretty easy to understand. They were never played and not competitive, meaning, not only are they never played, these characters probably need some changes in order to be competitive. You can maybe have some arguments about a few of these characters, but for most of them, they're going to be okay. The green arrows represent where they've gone from last patch into this patch. So have they improved? If they've improved from where they were before, they have a green arrow. If they have not improved and they've gone down, they have a red arrow. And that means that they were higher than they are now and they've gone down. Like I said, I thought this list was really good, and so I'd rather just explain this list versus go into anything differently. So what I'd like to do is kind of start at the top and work our way down, and we can get into more like problem solving, theory crafting as we work our way down. But for those who just want to know what the meta is, we can get that out the gate right away. So Bangalore is S+. Bangalore has become the go-to rotation character in the entire game of Apex Legends. And it's unbelievable to really consider because of how far she's come. She used to not even be played professionally. And that's why I always give credit to Shiv FPS, who was the Bangalore main. And when his team was able to make it into Pro League, Warlords and earlier iterations of that, I'm forgetting his name. It was like something, maybe 20. Anyways, they really pioneered what Bangalore could do, especially as we introduced Stormpoint, a map that was so big and so interesting. So that opened up different ways to rotate outside of sitting in a building, and suddenly you didn't need a Watson pylon as much, or you didn't need some caustic gas because it was too much space. You could just walk around the caustic gas, but you needed your lines of sight because everyone could see you and it was so open and wide to be covered, and that's where Bangalore Smoke really changed the game. And she became a staple. Teams like TSM picked her up, and she became a staple ever since. She's still that staple. She brings her smokes with utility. Her passive, arguably one of the best passives in the game, with double time, meaning someone can just shoot near you at all. Like if they're shooting at you and in your direction, you just gain 30% movement speed. So talk about a competitive environment. You're always just 30% faster than everyone. You've got a medium hitbox. You're not trading any like, oh, I'm a big tanky character to get that. So you're not getting any negatives. And her ultimate still, despite the nerfs and despite the nerfs to the smoke, as long as the ultimate does what it does, as long as the smokes do what they do, she's going to be a really, really good pick. And why not build your kind of meta around a character most of the time that can do that? Well, there's a few reasons why, as we're starting to get into now our standard meta, which is completely shifted. And I'll kind of mention these characters right now, Pathfinder and Fuse, and how they were part of the meta and they've gone down. But Crypto and Newcastle and Watson and Catalyst, these characters have gone up. Crypto really is probably the biggest kind of star of this meta. If you were to look at highlights, or if you say who's the headliner, it would be Crypto for sure. And the reason Crypto is because he got a major couple of buffs. He got some buffs to his drone handling that went into his overall value. You didn't have to pick that. And he also got this added ability to go invisible while controlling his drone. Some of these things, alongside the fact that as a controller legend, as when you look at Watson or Catalyst, there were some buffs that came with kind of holding down spaces, and they became a little bit stronger. You started to see Crypto become a pretty good counter to what Watson might be. And so for many people, having the vision that Bloodhound used to have, but with the Crypto drone, with better handling, and also making Crypto a lot safer, really introduced Crypto back into the meta in a powerful way. And so he became kind of almost the standard pick. It was overnight. It was pretty wild. It was after the patch, and suddenly he was there. Now, Crypto, means that you have kind of a semi-passive meta. So you could sit back, but when things are happening, it's immediately go. You crypto EMP, and then you go and push on that team. But now you've got 3 or 4 crypto EMPs. So here becomes the question. Do you build around being aggressive in a meta like this and challenging those teams who want to sit back, then EMP you and go all in? Or do you build defensive? And Crypto's a little bit of an answer for both. He could do either. He could sit back, or he can counter some of the defensive legends like Newcastle and Watson, who also are like the big staple picks in this meta. Newcastle, much improved, and really the value of Newcastle is due to some of the things that happened in this latest patch. The reason Newcastle has always been pretty good is because his res is phenomenal when you can get it off, especially if you have a gold backpack or a gold knockdown shield. I always like trade which one that is. It used to be one and now it's the other. So being an older player, it doesn't actually help to keep that all in line. But being able to res your teammates with Newcastle and then get them back up to half health immediately. Remember like when Lifeline had that kind of shield that you could press E and then it would give you the shield and then it would heal you and get you back up into the fight? That's kind of what Newcastle has now because of these new loot bins that are active, these kind of gold mythic loot bins that allow you to later in these rounds keep getting these high tiers of loot. It meant that you could almost guarantee getting these gold knockdowns to get your teammates back up at half health, which meant that once Newcastle res, which is pretty easy to do in a meta like this, you were back in the fight. It was extremely valuable. We even saw like glimpses of how valuable this was with Hardeki in the iteration of Aurora, who would run this by rushing the care package, getting to level 3 really fast, getting an Evo cash and moving from purple to red, and then getting another person onto purple, and then also getting a gold knock and being able to res people and keep this fight going and going. They were just like out leveling people. Newcastle can kind of do that. Along with his castle wall, they got a ton of buffs. Thanks, Webb. And it also put himself into a position where you couldn't really grenade through it. So he kind of did the same role as Watson. You had to grenade up, and over, but there's this like kind of trait that blocks any grenades or any ordnances coming from this angle of the wall. They've got to be very, very high up and almost loop down. And so that ended up giving Newcastle this really strong stability in this meta, and Crypto doesn't destroy Newcastle walls. So you see his value spike up because he can play that kind of counter, and he's a very difficult character to play, which is why I think Falcons and some other people struggled. Okay, the other thing to talk about is Watson. Watson is a really good legend in general. She was on the winning team, I think, in the last Split 1 playoffs, and she might have been in some of our most successful top 5 teams in last year's entire year of the ALGS. Fnatic is a good reminder of that. They placed top 10, I think top 5, maybe even top 3 once, and they typically always ran Watson with Yuka F. Watson just brings everything you need in a stable meta to play in World's Edge, to play in buildings, to create sight lines. She does get countered by Crypto, but she also pairs well with Crypto. So you can play her, get countered by her, but then counter the other Watson, and then you've still, as long as you've got an ultimate accelerant, still got some defensive utility to holding its grenades and hold down your position. She also pairs well with Newcastle, so you can really create a very defensive location behind the Newcastle wall. And she's generally a pretty flexible character that has a lot of ways to be impactful in the lineup, whether on World's Edge, whether on Stormpint. And so Watson, nothing new, but that's why she's up there. Also, strong presence. These characters we're seeing quite a bit, but not as much as they were. The meta before this, guys, ended up going into a conversation around Pathfinder and around Fuse. Now, Pathfinder came in to this meta out of the blue, but so did Fuse. And one of the biggest things that Fuse got, which you could look at it in this kind of a way as an exciting thing for our legends down below, is that Fuse was given the ability to see where the zone is going to pull. He used to have a very bad passive that said 50% less damage on grenades if you want. Like, so, you know, and the only way to take advantage of this would be to get hit by a grenade. And that's not what you're trying to do. So Fuse would essentially now replace that with the ability to fight and maneuver his team into the best areas in the zone. And so now Fuse could be an offensive version of a character like Watson, who, and might I just add, controller legends. Another element about why they got better, Watson 2 and Catalyst, is they could see where the ring is going. So that's a huge part of pro level play. They need to know where the ring's going. Most teams require that. And so they need a legend that can do it. Fuse became a legend that can do that, even though he's an offensive legend. I believe an assault legend. I'm pretty sure that's what Fuse is. And so what really became the key is the fact that he now had information for his team. That's also why Watson is still a very good pick. But there was a passive change to controller legends that increased their value overall. So I'm just going back to Watson for half a second just to say, as a controller, one of the issues was you would rotate early, you'd find where the zone is, rotate early, and then wonder, all right, what do I do? I'm on whites, I'm on blues. How do I deal with this, right? So when Apex said, instead of that, what we're going to do is, as long as you're playing in the zone, if you're a controller player, because we know you got to rotate early and you don't have time to loot and pick things up, what we're actually going to do is give you 25 extra shield as long as you're in the zone. So now Watson on blue in the zone is actually Watson on purple. Watson on purple is actually Watson on red. So that means somebody can play in zone with these characters and just naturally have the amount of health as if they were able to essentially go and loot and grind up their gear and their Evo shields, which was a big deal and why, Watson and controllers got even better, right? Newcastle is a support. Remember that. So he crafts banners. It's not the same thing as being able to, do what Watson did. Also, quality of life. Anybody who was a controller who would drop things like Caustic and Watson, they could like turn around and like pick them up as they were leaving. So they didn't have to like spend all that time going back and forth, picking up their fences and things like that. So it just made them that much more effective. And we saw a lot more play from her. So Fuse was able to see circles. That brought him up. You could be offensive. Really good against a meta where people are sitting. People are trying to hold zones. Really good and competitive where you just get a lot of damage off of it. And the Motherload, his ultimate, had basically two different things that had made it give vision like across the map, which was you would throw an Evo balloon. You would throw like a huge balloon out, and then you'd shoot the top of the balloon, and you would then be able to see, it would make a much bigger fusel that would fall down and you could see pretty much everybody inside of it. So that's how people were getting extra vision from Fuse. So that was his story. He's fallen down a little bit. There's still a way to do it, but I think you have to shoot a Bangalore smoke on it, or you got to do something crazy on it. Yo, Dolphin, that's crazy. For those who don't know, the chat said he loves to see Hal do terribly. It happens. I get it. Some people you love, some people you don't. It's always tough. Well, let's stay in this so we keep the pace for those watching the video. Now, Catalyst, I think, is just one of those characters that just could have been moved up on her own, but controllers get a buff. Catalyst gets a natural buff to that. She also serves as kind of a character that we would see teams playing Catalyst kind of when they were doing a little something different, right? We'd see Newcastle, we'd see Crypto, we'd see Watson, we'd see Crypto, we'd see Bangalore, we'd see Newcastle, we'd see a lot of these things, but then somebody would throw a Catalyst in there and like, okay, they're going for the Catalyst they're going for the Catalyst iteration. You know what I'm saying? And that would give you a different choice. So in game, when you're holding down zones, right, the option Catalyst gives you, which makes her really, really good, is to just cut that zone in half. So whether it's rotating or whether you're in the final circle and two teams are in one area and you're in the other area, you have the potential to just shut that off. So instead, those two teams decide, well, it's better to fight for second between us than to push through a wall and then whoever gets shot first dies. We don't have any control there. So a lot of teams, when that wall goes up, it just guarantees the Catalyst team a win. So that's why she's there. Pathfinder drops a little bit. Pathfinder really made some waves. I loved the Pathfinder meta. It lasted at EWC. it ended right after that. I still thought there were some teams utilizing Pathfinder really well, and one of the things that makes it so special is the access to height and the rotation capabilities that you have with the character. None of these other characters provide you rotation the same way that Pathfinder does, and people kind of found out how to get that value again back from the character, which was super exciting, and I think a great decision for everyone involved to kind of put Pathfinder back on the map. And while it's not really what we saw, I still think that this character is in a really good spot. So if you're playing ranked or anything like that, definitely check Pathfinder out again. I think it's come back. Let's go into the decent presences. So these were mostly the characters that we saw at LAN. So these 7 characters competitively is what people are going to be talking about. That's kind of how probably in high level ranked, outside of maybe the exception of Revenant or Maggie, you're probably going to be seeing a bunch of. Now, decent present was Wraith. I think Wraith just has a lot of the tools, but she doesn't outshine anyone. Most of you guys know who Wraith is. She's one of the oldest characters in the game. There's really not much to speak about her. There's nothing new added to her kit as well. She's a skirmisher. Skirmisher passive is just a little whatever. And, you know, there's just not as much going on with the skirmisher legends. In fact, you look at most of the skirmishers, and while a few of them maintain some decent presence across the game, for the majority of it, they're tilted towards like not really being relevant in high level play. And Alter and Octane really haven't found their rhythm either. So Wraith, while she moves up a little bit, and I forget the team that was playing Wraith. There was a team playing Wraith. It had something to do with Designful. Like, I know Designful played Wraith, but then there was the team that was playing it. It was connected to Designful. I don't know. I forget. But there was one team playing Wraith pretty decently. There was a team from Japan who was playing Valkyrie pretty consistently. It might have been Legends. It was Legends. It was Legends, David G. It was Legends because they showed up late. They played Wraith. Now, I don't know if this is a good sign, but this team, who was really considered a very good team, even one of us picked them to win the entire LAN, they disbanded right after LAN ended. So I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign as well. Pixie, someone did play Alter. I don't know if you guys can figure that out before mid-video, but I don't have time to look it up. Valkyrie was played by a Japanese team from Challenger Circuit, and who had just done well in Pro League. And then also Revenant was played by Shadow 3690. They were a Chinese team, and they needed a big win in their last game to qualify towards finals, and they won. And they had a major game with Revenant. So this was pretty exciting to see, and it gave me some ideas alongside Maggie. And I'll give you, I think we got to give the sneak peek to what I've seen some people playing of what could happen in this meta. But let's just keep on this pace. But Maggie is a part of it, and so is another Assault Legend in the rarely, never, or not competitive space. Okay. So Revenant is really good in ranked. You guys, Valkyrie also has probably got some potential there. I think kind of a random pick, but you know, outside of Shadow, nobody played him. Maggie, I don't know if any team really played Maggie. I don't remember watching a lot of Maggie either, and I just might not have been paying attention to those groups. But Maggie has something that kind of has some potential for countering Newcastle specifically. The Riot Drill does go through the first wall. Now, I don't know. I haven't tested the interaction of if it goes through the castle wall, but I believe it would, because it's not destroying the castle wall, and it kind of bleeds through those other objects. But if it doesn't, it definitely goes through his first shield, the blue shield. And that's enough sometimes. That's enough to be really, really annoying. However, it does, her bowling ball, her wrecking ball, it really doesn't go through castle wall. So Newcastle still has this premier kind of priority over interactions with Maggie, even if the Riot Drill is there, because you can kind of back off of that. While she has kind of a half counter, she doesn't just destroy his kit. Unlike Gibraltar, who she destroys the Gibraltar bubble, and she destroys her Riot Drill goes through his shield. Now, that's to be expected, though, because this is an ultimate, and technically it goes through Newcastle's shield as well. So you know, he has an offensive ultimate. You can't be blamed that this guy's offensive ultimate doesn't get destroyed by Maggie's tactical. Otherwise, tacticals become way stronger than ultimates, and that's a weird design philosophy that you got to like keep in your head, and I don't think they want to do that. But she's a really good character. I actually really like Maggie in ranked, so check her out if you're interested. Rarely played. This was kind of the biggest shift. Like the last few months, we saw this huge rise of Seer, and Seer came back into the meta, and he was the replacement of Bloodhound. Bloodhound was the meta alongside Fuse and alongside Bangalore, and you would see Bloodhound basically and this Bangalore play be this aggressive, run at you, get the job done, and fight meta. This is a meta that really, really was effective for teams like Falcons. It was really effective for high-level players. Super effective for, I don't know, really super effective for anyone who felt like their team fighting was what they wanted to stand out. And so if you consider putting it, and I'm hearing about this SSG news right away. Somebody on YouTube has said that. I think it was Sam and now Crossover. I can't believe this. Is this really true? Oh my goodness gracious. All right, some breaking news. SSG apparently is breaking up. I got no information on that. The least that I could say, or at least that I can verify. But wow. All right, the team that just won LAN, we're finding out, is no longer going to stay together. Well, that is a strange one. This is breaking news for me. And what does that mean? That means that the last two teams that have won LAN have disbanded this year. That means Reject Winity have disbanded, and they've gone over to Crazy Raccoon and dropped one of their players. It now means SSG is disbanded, and one of those players will not be there. Two might stay together, who knows? Right after winning LAN. That is bizarro land. You do the one thing every org wants to do, and then you break up. I mean, this is the most, I don't have any context, but it just sounds ridiculous. Okay. So this is an interesting year for Apex because it's put us into a position of like 3 metas happening across our LANs. And normally LAN metas are a little bit more consistent, and they're consistent leading up to it and at it. But we've had 2 different LANs, 2 different metas, and then a third LAN with kind of a different meta. And Seer was a big part of this one that happened earlier, well, really in between, because I think we had Bloodhound in Split 1. Seer happened right after Bloodhound, but then Pathfinder and Fuse and Bangalore and some of these things started happening towards EWC, and Pathfinder was in the meta when Alliance finally won. So Seer never really got his moment in the sun at LAN too much, but is still a very good legend. He's just dropped down, and Bloodhound no longer needs replacing. People have found ways to play Crypto for the scans and play more defensive legends due to the controller buffs as well. So these 2 legends fall out of being really played or relevant. Caustic also just doesn't have the value anymore because, you know, if you're playing in open spaces or you need to, let's say, get past a new castle, what are you going to do? You can't throw your Caustic ultimate into the new castle. It's gonna get destroyed. So you can't throw it into a Watson ult. The characters right now, and Crypto destroys all your setup. So Crypto destroys the entirety of the Caustic setup with the EMP. So Caustic doesn't really have some good counters here. He's really good when you have characters who don't have defensive answers. So yeah, we're talking ALGS here. But yeah. Now let's talk about Lifeline. I did have fun at LAN. It was a lot of work. LAN is a lot of work for us. We don't get to do too much fun, and when we fit our fun in, it's not for the benefit of the broadcast. So it's like can't be like staying up late and hanging out in Germany like more than maybe one night out of the 7 that were there, because then, you know, we got to wake up and, you know, we have a show. That's our job. We put that on for you guys and put it on for the players, and we got to do it justice. So we did have fun, but it's usually a little bit more work, and you know, I got life going on, so I can't really come back, you know, a week later after doing solo trip. I'm married, you know, I got life, baby. I love my life, but I got it, so I can't be yeah baby, you know. So I just thinking I'm gonna stay I just think I'm gonna stay a week, you know, check out Berlin, you know, just see what's up. Yeah. I don't know when I'm coming back. Yeah. Yeah, you taking care of the house? Okay. All good. Yeah. Oh, I gotta go. This great looking restaurant. I gotta go hit. Okay, bye. It's not a conversation that I don't know if you ever had that. Try to have the conversation. Doesn't play out well. But no, I love coming back home. Got a lot of good things this week. Lifeline is really, really fun as well. And a good legend that, if you want to play her, brings pretty much the same thing. She's got a couple things toned down. They took away in this latest patch, if I recall, the ability for her to spawn a guaranteed Evo cache. So you're losing out a little bit on the leveling up of Lifeline and kind of hitting past those those barriers where you're kind of outpacing the rest of the lobby, hitting purples, hitting reds, like she was doing earlier in the year in Split 1. So, yeah, I mean, she's kind of been tuned down, but I think she's in a good spot. I do like Lifeline a lot, and she's in a good spot. Just nothing competitively to offer, and Aurora, the team really prioritizing her, and in a few of those EMEA teams, there's just so many other stronger choices. Horizon, again, you talk about throwing a black hole, too risky when you're talking about these two characters being in the meta. So that naturally puts Horizon down, although I do love the idea of getting height in this meta. She doesn't have a lot of things that can be destroyed easily. There's something to say maybe about a Revenant and a Horizon that can be looked at to be getting aggressive. But yeah, you got to be really, really careful. And I don't know the interactions on throwing the black hole, getting destroyed by the Newcastle wall. Certainly, she shuts it down. And, Horizon outside of that height and that movement, which Pathfinder kind of gave a little bit more effectively with the energized zipline, the defensiveness, the height utility, she just hasn't really had her place yet. But I do miss her. I do miss a little Horizon meta. I'm open to Horizon meta every now and then. It's fun. So we'll see if it comes back. Gibraltar also really rarely played. Kind of like I don't really get what would be happening with Gibraltar. We thought he would get a little bit better. The LMG gun shield hop up that gives you 50 extra health, gives him and his shield, I think, 25 extra health on top of that. So there is something really valuable in, considering playing, Gibraltar a little bit more, maybe in your free time to see if it works. But defensive bombardment totally gets eaten up by Watson. There might even be a case of it not being as effective against a Newcastle. Him and Newcastle kind of right now, comparison to like who gets countered. If you're running Gibraltar and Crypto EMPs you and there's a Newcastle team next to you, you're going to have no shield. He's going to still have his shield up. That's a pretty harsh reality to face. So I wouldn't be messing with it. And now let's talk about the never played characters. Yeah, anything that can get destroyed, you're kind of looking at having less of an option, especially in this like it's an aggressive meta, but it's a defensive meta. So what can you do to defend against an EMP? How hard does that hurt your setup? Well, it hurts ramparts quite a bit. Sheila is still a character that was, a legend, a weapon that can turn the tide of a fight. But we just are seeing a little bit more of the stronger stationary characters, the controllers jump in. And you got to remember, while she is a controller, she's one of the controllers that is kind of in that third tier rate compared to Catalyst and compared to Watson, who would be in the controller conversation, the top two controllers in Apex Legends. So, Caustic sometimes jumps in, a Rampart sometimes gets in there, but they're very, very off meta, and it's just in the time to try to go against it. Conduit's also received nothing but kind of nerfs lately. It's been a little sad. I think this is a character that's unfortunate. Her design doesn't really allow her to be that strong. I mean, it really doesn't. Her design is kind of like only something that allows her to be decently valuable, because if she's too strong, she's OP. Giving people just straight up health or shields or easy reses or damage, right? These are really strong variables. You talk about design. There's a lever on a character I can pull. How many ballistic tacticals can I give him that he makes him bumps up his win rate or makes him lose? How much jetpack fuel can I give Valkyrie before she's hard to kill? How much damage can I give a character? How much health can I give a character, right? It's not the same. Like, one of these levers is like the more health you give a character, the more they will win or not die. Or the more damage, the more kills they will get. The more jet fuel that Valkyrie gets, maybe at a high level it can help. At a low level, will it change much? It's one of those levers you pull that designers like to, that aren't this just like, let's make something brain dead OP or, you know, really, really, you know, unplayable. And so she's unfortunately designed with a kit very much like Fuse that is either so much damage and so good or not played at all. However, support passives, not as great. Great in ranked, just not in competitive. Fuse being able to see circles. Maybe there's something you could put up with Conduit. Maybe Conduit has a chance. You know, I like to see these. I like to see these ones where Conduit maybe gets a chance to get a passive that can help her kind of offset her role right now. So I think there's some conversation in the perks that could help. Loba also same deal. Loba is wasn't played this round. The meta was a little bit too secure, but when the meta falls off into like, you know, where everyone's being pretty aggressive, there's none of these powerhouse kind of like ultimate abilities that are dominating. Loba, I think, fits right in. If you put a Valkyrie, if you had like Pathfinder or Fuse or like Bangalore, I think you could see teams running Loba because she brings value to your in-game circle. Ammo is incredibly hard to get for certain stacks, reducing the stacks of certain ammo. Energy ammo as well due to the Havoc nerfs. Ordinances are great when you're don't have a Fuse heavy meta where people already have a lot of stuff to throw at you. So, you know, if you're now looking for more grenades, you're looking for more meds, it starts to be a thing. Also, loot bins, gold loot bins, people have a lot of what they need. That's kind of Loba's category of getting those things, giving it to your team, trying to outlevel and outpace by the items that she can provide you. So, yeah, she's not played, but it makes sense. That makes sense for why she's not played. Vantage is a character we thought might start to see a little bit of something. She's a recon legend, so she could see survey beacons and know where players are. Now, we saw a lot of these be kind of the pace for, okay, how are we going to navigate around a map? You get a little bit of Evo shield upgrade as well for that, and you find, you know, I think a good way to kind of spot out as an IGL where the best path of rotating is. But with the damage increase, with the ease of getting bullets back off ultimate accelerants, with the better utility, and what I mean is the ease of use of getting Echo, her bat, into right positions, not getting blocked by line of sights, things that have continued to happen, I just personally think she's going to need to get over the hump of the way people perceive her. And I talk about this all the time. This is why characters who arrive in our game, I encourage to be very overtuned, because, you know, you can put out a mid-season patch, you could put out an emergency patch. Hey, Aaron, thank you so much for the $4.99, the $5 You're the man. Thank you so much on your 5th super on a live stream. For the previous message, what do you love about Apex nowadays? OG player and fan of yours. Hope all is well. I'm loving the diversity of the metas that we've just had, Aaron. And I'm talking about them right now in this video, but I'm truly, truly enjoying the fact that, the fact that we've got over the last month, when we were in Riyadh, one team won with a completely different meta of like Pathfinder and Fuse and Bangalore. And now we see, and from EMEA, and now we see a team back from North America winning with Crypto, with Newcastle, with Watson. I mean, how often have we been able to say that these legends are legends that people are playing at the highest level competitively at the same time, or in such a few short weeks away from each other? Also, really wanted to know, he dropped Apex for Overwatch a little while ago. Why should he get back into it? What's great about the game nowadays? Yeah, it's just, to me, I think they're adding a lot of fun elements. I would get in just to try the Akimbos. The Akimbo shotguns, my goodness. Yeah, I would get in and try that, because I feel like gunplay is always amazing. When you move in Apex, you'll feel like that's why this game is something special. And yeah, I mean, our competitive scene is amazing. Now, we are going on a little break, kind of, but we got some other stuff going. And but I appreciate you coming in and dropping that. And I got to say, stick on the streams. We're going to play a little bit here if we can. And maybe you'll find a couple of good reasons as well. I appreciate you, though, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Man, it's been a minute. We gotta throw the heart on that bad boy. Yeah, you gotta try it. You gotta try it. Double Mozam, man. Akimbo Mozam, Akimbo P2020s. They are fun. All right. So where does that leave us, guys? So Vantage, yeah, just came in a little too strong. I mean, you know, not as strong of a character release, and that's hurt Vantage. And so constantly these buffs are so small that it's nothing's pushed her over the edge yet. Hopefully that changes. Maybe you can grind some Vantage. Maybe you can come onto my videos, comment, let me know like what you think needs to be done, or let us know in the chat what needs to be done for these characters, because I personally, I'm not invested. So I would go in theory craft, but I don't play Vantage that much, and there's no reason for me to right now. I like the character, but I'm just not that invested. So, you know, that's kind of where I'm at. It's all love, but that's just a little bit where I'm at with that. Okay. Now, let's go to Ashe. Ashe is a character I feel like, and again, I don't do leaks. I don't know anything about that. I literally do not watch, or if there's a leak or something, like I have no idea. So what literally happens, though, in my eyes, is this is a character that looks like they need a rework. This is a character that looks like they do too many things adjacent to a Pathfinder, adjacent to a Wraith, that isn't enough to separate them in this pack and be effective at a high level competitively. What will it take? I don't know. I've talked about 2 dashes back to back on the ultimate. They've fixed quality of life, being able to hold a gun, being able to hold your tactical while throwing your gun. There's been things of adding double tacticals. I think the perk system gives Ashe a chance, but it's just been really, really hard. And this is a character that just hasn't made it. Also, the big 1999, the 20 bomb from Aaron. You're the best, man. Great content since the beginning. Glad to be a fan. Thank you. Thank you so much, Aaron. I appreciate it. Keeping the vibes high on YouTube. Thank you so much. My first day doing this co-stream, guys. I don't know if you like it, but I'm loving it. Thank you again, Aaron. Hopefully you'll be hanging around and we'll be seeing more of each other on here. Appreciate you, bro. With your pre-made loadout, I saw that might be a possibility. That's an interesting idea. All right, let's finish this real quick. I know sometimes people watching the video back go, who is he talking to? I'm live. Make sure to check me out, twitch.tv/Raynday or youtube.com/RayndayGaming, if we're going to be doing this a little bit more often. And again, a big shout out to our sponsor. I'll do a read in just a second. But let's talk about the not competitive legends. You know, kind of the, gosh, I don't want to say ugly ducklings, but in terms of competitive, certainly. Ballistic, Octane, and Mirage, certainly. Alter's in a weird position because she's got too much of a ceiling that no one has even discovered where it ends yet. No one's put in that time. We've had too much. I think Alter is now a character that might have a really good offseason. This is where you could start to experiment. This is where you have a little bit of time. This is where you could play, get some new ideas. You could change your roster. You could have a new coach. You can get some new ideas percolating, you know, like that early morning coffee percolating. And Alter really needs that. She's just this is a character that has too much to do that could be good. That's a problem. Now they've added some buffs to allow Alter for you to get back into her ultimate or where her ult is faster, a recall for your team. And you know, I've only played it a little bit. I've only had 1 Alter on my team. So I think what's happening is she's just suffering from not being played enough. And, you know, I think she's not being played enough because people don't know what they're trying to do with her yet. So it's going to take some trailblazing. I think it's going to take a pro, maybe a content creator, someone who's just really committed to Alter, to kind of show you a little bit on, you know, what she can do and how she can do it. Once that becomes a part of like the ethos of Apex, people will want to put their own spin on it, and she'll become really good. But she's not a part of that zeitgeist, you know, of like, what does it mean to play Apex? And I really like her designer, Ian Holstead, I believe. If he's not watching right now or he ever sees this, I really like the designer, the thought that went behind it. It's really amazing. And so I hope that Alter does well. It just is going to take some time. Octane, on the other hand, is going to require a meta to shift. Now, one way I could see Octane kind of shifting, being a part of it, is if you have too defensive of a meta and you have something where you have a Revenant, you have a kind of Maggie right? You have like a destruction type meta that can run in, that could be aggressive, that can take height, that can rotate fast, that can get picks, that can be hard to deal with. Octane and Revenant, that was one of the strongest metas that we ever had in Apex Legends, and it needed to get reverted because these two characters running at you with Revenant Death Totem it's not a pretty sight. Can Maggie, can Ash, can Octane, can Alter maybe, but maybe just more Revenant, Maggie, Octane, Ash link up and do something maybe with Conduit? Can they link up and kind of make a little something going on? Or like once this push comes up, you're not going to be able to stop any of us, right? I think there's something there, right? But again, we don't play a 4-player game, play a 3-player. So what are you giving up? Fuse didn't even make it until he could see Ring. If a team plays this, they've got no survey beacon, they've got no Ring console, and no pro is going to touch that. So until you solve that problem, you're going to have an issue. You're going to have an issue with who makes it into competitive, and you're not going to have 2 slots available. You might have 1 slot for a character like this, and that means Octane has to beat out the rest of this entire roster. That's tough. Same goes for Mirage. A lot of fun, really hard to be a team player. And some characters, I always say this, are not designed to be team characters. They're designed to be solo fun characters, ranked characters. Mirage is one of them. Don't expect Mirage to be pairing with anything because he has abilities that are all about him. And maybe that's because of his personality, but they're just all about what he does, and throws a decoy and he goes invisible. And yes, he can res silently, and that is frustrating in ranked and invisibly as well. But you can't have too much invisibility running into your game too. Crypto already is a ton of invisibility. I got to remember to react to some of those clips because it's like, it's nuts, the invisibility that he brings. Last but not least, I'm going to say Ballistic is a character I really hope gets a little bit more action. I don't know if he will, but I hope he gets a little bit more action. I think he has not enough time with his newest perk, which allows you to actually level up the upgrade of your sling weapon without keeping it white and then going straight to gold, but actually to like level it up as you're playing and as you're getting higher purples and reds, and then use it as a third weapon. I think there's something special there. It's just so hard to find where the team value is. I like his tactical a lot, and I also like his presence. Like I just feel like he's got a pretty good presence. Anybody who's got a tactical that like stops space, forces the other player to like move back up. I don't want to touch that. I like that. I think there's something there. But it's just going to be about how do you make that ult better for your team and like enough to pick up. And again, you go like there's a Zerg composition for Revenant, Maggie, Ash, Ballistic, right? There's something there, right? But it's just we haven't been able to find it. No one's going to be looking too hard if there are other great answers like this. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, whether you're going to agree with this tier list or not. I really liked it. I appreciate it. Can I find who it was? Yes, it was Wyatt Watt who put this together. So congrats to him, and thank you guys for watching that tier list. Okay, I think it's time for us to do a little shout to our sponsor, and then it is time to go ahead and get into some Apex, baby. Let's order a little bit of some McDonald's. Thank you guys again, Aaron, for the big 20. Appreciate you, bro. Absolute goats over here. All right, so a big shout out to McDonald's, SoCal McDonald's. I've loved this company forever. I'm doing some really cool stuff with them this month. We've got actually a lot of things going on. Going to San Diego tomorrow for a secret project. We've got to cast another secret project next week. Then we have a very cool project on the 18th I'll let you guys know about. And then we got a very, very cool project, should be on the 21st. So I'm busy with Mickey D's. But you should be too, because you guys got to get GOAT status. You know what that is. Greatest of all time offers, baby. Yeah. You want what? You want any of these things, any of these options, the fries, the McFlurry, the hash brown in the morning. I mean, well, no matter what it is, whether it's nuggets, whether it's coffee, and you want to stop by, McDonald's has it for you. But here's the thing. Stop by. That's an old reference. That means that you can't get the same value sitting right from your home, which surprisingly you can. Crossover wants to buy my shirt, but why don't you check out with this QR code what you can buy on the McDonald's app by saving up to 15% or $20. sitting at home in the comfort while we play games to basically go ahead and get your Mickey D's. It's an unbelievable, valid, and valuable ask, and I can't wait for you guys to check it out with me as I'm about to order. I'm not gonna lie. That's right. If you haven't been around it, I know YouTube, you haven't seen it in a minute, guys. We about to order some McDonald's. And what we do is we grub. We grub. So let me know, guys, where we going? Double quarter pounder, baby. All right, Aaron. All right, Aaron. Double quarter pounder. Oh, I might have to join you with that. We got to get the fries though, too, right? Toro doesn't work in Spain. All right, so let's go. I'm going through it right here, guys. Double quarter pounder might have to be the meal. Let's see. French fry. Ooh, maybe I should just get a double quarter pounder meal right there. Double quarter pounder with cheese deluxe meal. I'm going to go large on that. Large French fries. And can a guy please get let's do a Coke. Let's do a nice Coke right there. Now, if you know me, I always try to grab some nuggets. So I'll grab some of those. We'll do a little sweet and sour. And what's the other dip, guys? I'm gonna go ranch today. I'm going ranch, sweet and sour and ranch, mixing it up. And that's it. I would get some dessert, but I don't want to set an example. Have dessert before some of you haven't eaten yet. Okay, if you're on the West Coast, it's not even time for dinner yet. I don't want to set. I don't want people to be mad at me over there. What streamer are you watching or making you order a frappe before dinner time? I mean, come on now. Raynday made me. He made me. What? Hey, come on, man. I just told you about the deal. You didn't have to take it. It's hard to it's hard to blame you though. It's hard to blame you because these deals are very, very good. Okay. We're gonna do one more here as well. I think we're just grabbing the yeah, we go all in, man. We go all in on these orders. Haven't eaten today as well. I'm ready to go. Yeah. Oh, how about a McChicken? A nice and easy McChicken, and we'll mix it all up. All right. We're going to use the standard delivery. We're going to give a nice big tip. As always, spread the love, guys. We got good things happening. So we'll keep the good things happening over there. Yeah, I hit the gym in the morning. All about that balance. Hey, Harsh, take it easy. That t-shirt equals a walk-in. Listen, all right, guys. So I'm gonna give you 2 seconds to choose what you want. 1, 2. All right, that was it. That was the menu. That's all you got to see. There it is. All right, so guys, yet again, thank you for grabbing it. Make sure you check out the app. We got a lot of cool stuff coming. And this is also going to be a really, really cool month just for Mickey D stuff. So I appreciate you guys and thank you. Thank you for helping me out. Keep this one of the best places in gaming on the internet, especially with sponsors and partners like McDonald's. Appreciate you guys. So let's jump into the next phase, which is I'm going to use the restroom and then we're going to jump into some Apex Legends. Now, I do want to have a conversation, though. I do want to ask you guys about something. There's actually 2 crazy things that happened, which is insane. First off, actually, there is a crazy story. There is a crazy gaming story that just happened that I do want to listen to. But I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. right. Okay. Shamrock Shake is the best drink. Oh man, don't even get me started on the shakes. Grimace Shake was actually unbelievable. Quickly, guys, you remember this story? I don't know how you cannot remember it. It just happened. Oh my god. I mean, I feel like I need to make a video on this. I mean, everyone is making a dang comment on this, which is nuts. Hold on. It's actually crazy. Okay. Well, so first element here is, so I did a video. Okay, I did a video on this game called Concord. I think you guys know it. What is insane is that this game, as of yesterday, right? This game that is Sony's $200 million 8-year investment has just been canceled. Sony has shut down the entire game after a week, 2 weeks of it launching and it hitting a CCU of like 700 players. 700 players. Which is like, that's like insane. I covered this game twice and I actually played it, and we played it on stream. I actually liked it. Hey, Nettie. I actually really, really liked it. And all of a sudden, Sony just completely pulls it in full refunds. I mean, this is like the biggest, not L, but the biggest, like, we have messed up that I've almost ever seen admitted publicly. Like, yes, it's a failure, but it was clearly such an embarrassingly big failure that they did something like this. The statement, he goes, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of the team-based first-person shooter on August 23rd. Thanks for those who joined aboard the North Star spaceship cruise. However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with you guys, we also recognize that other aspects of the game in our initial launch didn't land the way we'd intended. Therefore, at this time, we decided to take the game offline and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. To me, I actually think what they're going to do, I'm not going to lie, they've got the game already. They're going to refund everyone. I guarantee they're going to, I feel like they build a battle pass. They build a battle pass and they literally like just release it free to play. And it got a crazy bit of hype just now. And what they do is they just try to make a little bit of their money back. They could also leave it up like that, see if it works, and even if it doesn't work, who cares? But they'll have players, and then they can at least justify making a little bit of money off of something if, you know, you have enough players. The problem was, or yeah, you're right, they sunset it completely and it's never comes up. However, the issue is this, like, you cannot even, the reason they had to do this is because you can't have a game that you pay $40 for that literally has 62 concurrent players. Like, 62 players, like a live service game. Like, how can you find a game you can't even play? And it's a competitive game. So there's almost something like a moral like issue that was occurring. Like, we can't sell a game that no one can play. Hey, what up, baby? Nath la patate. Thank you, bro. Now, I don't know what happened to Spellbreak, to be honest, but that is really insane. To me, it's just like, how do you get it this wrong? A lot of people have like kind of gone to the point where it was like, it's not about anything crazy, like where, you know, somebody got something crazy wrong. It's just, it was like too late for this game to come out. I don't know. This is, to me, this is where like Emperor wears no clothes in my eyes. Like, the story, Hans Christian Andersen basically, like, you know, if you don't know it already, like there's a kid who, there's an emperor who gets swindled by these guys. Emperor's New Clothes. Basically, there's a kid who gets swindled by these guys who come in and they like say we're the best, clothes makers in all the land, and the emperor has all these people who are like yes men to him. So the emperor keeps going and going and going and telling everyone, these guys seem cool. Let me check it out. So they spend all these years, they spend like a month making him his stuff, and he pays them in gold, and they show up, and then they show up, and he's like, okay, where is it? And they're like, what do you mean? It's right here. And these swindlers are like, just like, this is it. And the emperor's looking at him like, I don't see anything. There's nothing there. There's just, and they're like, no, sir. Here it is. Turn around. Here, let me drape this on you, button it here. And so the emperor's like, basically naked. And he turns to his people and he says, how does this look, guys? And his people are so yes men to, that by that I mean they say yes to him all the time just to appease him and to give him what he wants, that they say, oh, it looks fantastic, keep it going. And then the emperor's like, great, I do look good. And essentially this goes on for many months until it's like the big procession. And he walks out in front of the whole city, like in Game of Thrones, sitting on the side, and this whole procession, and the whole city is kind of like, the emperor's naked, but no one's saying anything. And the swindlers behind him have already left. They took all the gold. And then eventually, like, a little child goes and says, hey, wait a second. Why is he naked? And then everyone's like, yeah, he is naked. They're like, yeah, wait. The whole town was like, he's naked, and he ran back and embarrassed and all that. And the swindlers got away. But the story is about how, if you only get information that what you're doing is right, you can stumble into these incredibly big embarrassments and these incredibly big faults of reality. And it can come back to bite you in a big way. So it's important to receive feedback that is natural, and it's also that is real. And it's also a commentary on the idea that as kids, we do say what we mean. But as adults, we kind of learn that there's value in sometimes shutting up or not saying something that will offend them, or not, quite being honest because it's not a big deal, but it can get a big deal. So that's a very, very interesting one. The other game that I want to ask you guys about is Deadlock. What do you guys think about Deadlock right now? Yeah, I do like how he's honest. Oh, also, let me see the tweet real quick. Let's bring that up. SSG tweet. You guys said they broke up. Let me see this. Oh, here we go. We got all the tea here. All right, so the first tweet is, thanks for such an incredible run and taking the SSG name all the way to the top of Apex. Phony FPS, Zainu, Koiful, wish you all the best. Space Station Game, more info. I would like to address the situation surrounding the release of our Apex Legends teams, since it might come as a shock to everyone. During EWC, it was brought to our attention that the team was going through internal issue and they would like to make changes or disband. Rosters were locked for ALGS Mannheim, so we all mutually agreed that this would be their last event as a team together. We were also aware the ALGS Championship was being pushed to 2025, and our contractually agreement with the players would expire at the end of 2024. We spoke with the players about an extension, but they wanted to keep their options open after the major, and we agreed to release them as soon as the event concluded so they could move to new teams. I want to thank Phony, Zainu, and Koiful for putting their differences aside and giving it one last push and finishing it off as champions. I wish them nothing but the best, and I hope they find the same success wherever they land. I would have loved to run it back, but that's how it goes sometimes in esports. As for SSG, we are not done with Apex Legends. We will be looking at options for a new team for Worlds and the 2025 season. Yeah, this is great. Okay, so what I can pretty much appreciate is not only this transparency, but like the fact that this is probably a bigger thing, a bigger sign of the times here for me when it comes to this. During EWC, it was brought to our attention that the team was going through internal issue and they would like to make changes or disband. What happened was, whether that was a big enough deal to keep going, and it still feel, Aaron, I got to check out Deadlock, by the way. I want to have this conversation with you. It feels like what then ended up probably happening was, it's hard after you win to be like, okay, let's disband. Like, it's just a hard thing to say. It kind of doesn't make any sense because you just won. But the issue must have been pretty bad internally. And then what must have happened is they also realized, listen, maybe we split up, maybe we don't. What are our options going to be? Because now as champions, we might be able to get a pretty big bump in pay. And we also might be able to all three find teams, or 2 and 1 find teams that we really want. I mean, the truth is, it could be 2 players who want a team without one. It could be 1 player who doesn't want the other 2. I don't know how it works with the ALGS spot for champs. I really have no idea how that works. So because if they're going to keep their spot, I'm pretty sure somebody's got to stay. I don't know who owns the spot, but that means that somebody's got to stay for that spot. And if the other 2, or the other 1 finds another team, they're expecting they get a better team or a crazy thing. So it might be Phony who keeps this spot. Zainu and Koifel might go to another team. You know, so that'll be interesting. So now let's dive into what they've said. Have they said anything? Nothing. Also, Zainu and Koifel look like they're staying together, searching for something, looking for team. Because I'm not seeing it looking for team from Zainu. I put my all into this game, especially this past month, going to the major and taking home the trophy. As a team, we had our troubles and pushed through it for this event for ourselves. And even though it was not my decision, it was decided to move forward, splitting up, looking to give all. Oh, so this was not. So this was Zainu and Koifel's decision, or one of them or both of them. That's crazy. Well, whoever's decision it was, the other one agreed. Because if they had wanted Phony there, then basically, I think it would have been 2-1, right? Because he said he doesn't want it. It says, if it's not my decision, it was decided to move forward, splitting up. Oh, got it. So, yeah. So it's what's happening with the roster and then what's happening with them, man. This is just... Wow, that is just truly insane. It's tough. It's tough to see someone like that deal with this, given the fact that they just were successful. You know? Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird. That is a very, very weird one, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. But I appreciate it. I appreciate them and what they've done. That is the name of the game. But I think that is what definitely throws. I think that's definitely what throws whoever's in charge of those types of decisions or whatever. There's a level of when players are in the driver's seat, you have an issue with personalities so much that they don't get behind, this isn't about me, it's about the org. It's about the team. It's about the Lakers. It's about the Cowboys. It's about Man United. It's about Manchester City. You know, you can't be, you know, a lot of times you don't have a choice to just, you don't like somebody on your team, Man City wins the championship and you got to go back and play again. You're under contract, you know. Partially, these orgs aren't paying 3-year contracts. but partially also, you know, these players knowing that are going crazy because I'm looking out for number one all the time. I mean, it's kind of like sad, really, to see a team like that immediately disband. I don't even know what to say about it. I want to get some more information on the roster lock situation, though, and what that means. Now, I also want to have one more conversation with you guys, which is about Deadlock. Who's been watching Deadlock? Who's been playing Deadlock? I'm definitely going to play. I'm curious. I'm curious if you guys have been watching. I know, Aaron, you've been loving it. I've been watching a lot of the content. I've definitely been watching the videos that have been going on. I've been seeing Shroud and stuff like that. Not particularly excited about Deadlock either. So, do you like what's the MOBAs? Like, what's the vibe? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it might be 3-person teams. You know, I can't even have a favorite team anymore. So people just keep changing teams. See, that's what I'm saying, Vis. So you can't even have a favorite team because these teams aren't teams. You know, what's the point of a team if the team is in and out and back and forth? You know, we got to bring some type of stability to it. Amazing job in Mannheim, Raynday. First ever LAN. It was awesome. Travel from Norway to be there. Oh, Lady MC, thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a fun time, wasn't it? I'm really glad. That was maybe one of the best LANs ever. Why is it a long break too? Because of Japan. To set it up in Japan the way it is, we had to do that break. All right, guys, my food is here. I'm about to grab that. Let's grub. Also, if you guys, while I'm away, have any questions you want to line up, whether it's still about this topic, just because I'm going to be eating a little bit with you guys. It's a good time for Q&A, topics, stuff like that. So just let me know. Type them in the chat. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going down. It's going down. Oh, it's a big boy right here. It's a big boy right here. That's okay. That's okay. Got our lovely Coke ready to go. Oh, this is actually a dope cup. A collector's meal. I don't know if you guys can see this. Collector's meal. That's pretty cool. Nice. Something slight up in here. What's up, Alpine? We got the right things. We got the right things right here. All right. A little McChicken going on. We got the chicken nuggets. We got the chicken nuggets. Baby. It's always real. You literally already know what that is. I don't even got to show you. And we got our quarter pounder. We got our deluxe quarter pounder right here. Ooh, break out the napkins, straws. You know, the way they... the things I need to get the job done. So yeah, what's the sauce? Well, we got the sweet and sour. And then we got the We got the ranch, you know. So we're gonna open those up. My wife was like, you know, I really want to let you open that on stream, you know, to support you. But if you have any more, can I have some? She could, you know, hungry boys in the chat. Okay, guys. The only Toby ever with the Prime, baby. Thank you so much. That was the bomb. Thank you so much, Toby. First sub of the day. Thank you so much for using the Prime. I appreciate you, man. Only Toby ever, too. That's quite the accomplishment. Welcome to the Rainstorm. You get the badge, the emotes, and help make the community that much better. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. So, what do we start off with here? What do we start off with? Because you guys got some good questions, but I got to dive in. I got to take a bite first. Ooh, man, that is looking ready to go. Oh, my God, it's looking ready to go out here. Come on now. Wow. On this flight starving, no. I'm sorry to put you in that situation. Just know I've been in it recently. Wow. That hits. All right. Nuggets time. That's what's up. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Because you struggle with this, how to improve public speaking. Toro, what's the type of public speaking you want to do? Do you want to just be comfortable talking to other people? Or do you want to do like public speaking like I do, where it's more of like a job, you know, in front of groups? I got caught slipping right there. I'm sorry. So, yeah, work presentations. A lot of it's information. Have a plan. You know, I think when you're more prepared, you're going to be more effective. I would also try to be aware of the type of public speaking that would interest you, okay? Because there's a lot to uncover in that. If you notice that something's intriguing to you, and it's the pace, it's the cadence, is it these intangible qualities you feel like, okay, maybe it is. But what if there's something that you could take from that and improve? For me, public speaking is a good example is like speaking to a group, kind of like you're speaking humanly, right? Not to one person, not necessarily only to one person, but that you're having a conversation that makes sense to one person. When you treat people like they're not there in the room, sometimes it can be difficult to feel comfortable because they might feel a little uncomfortable if you're not acknowledging like they're here listening to your presentation. Um, there's a fine line between how to do that. But for me, when you're bringing energy, what's up, Brian? When you're bringing excitement, and then when you're clear on what you want to say, people have a really easy time listening to you. So part of it is the work you do behind the scenes to get really clear on what it is you're trying to say. Getting good at public speaking, there's a few tips and tricks that I have. And to be fair, it's like not getting too nervous by letting myself be nervous and kind of owning up to that. Owning up to that moment of, I kind of forgot what I was going to say. I kind of forgot, you know what? Yeah, wow, I feel like I'm losing my words here. This can be a little complicated, but, you know, it's it can be complicated for me too, which is why I want to have this conversation. If you own up and align yourself with like what people are really experiencing and kind of go human level, I think you can get a lot more done. Corporate, sometimes it doesn't allow you to go too human, but you could still bring that with your presence, your hello, your hi, you know, you're greeting the room, you look at the room, have a conversation with someone in the room, right? For interviews, sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say, right? So what I'll do, I'll go up to the person. I'll say, "Hey, how you doing?" "Good, good, good." I'll get their tone. I'll understand if they're like talking. "Where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from here." "Oh, how'd you feel after the win?" "Oh, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling great." "Are you going back? Do you enjoying the event? Or are you going back home?" Or, "Oh yeah, I'm enjoying the event." You know, and those little things can help you go, okay. What's up, guys? I'm here. We got it next winter. I want to talk to this man, Demonio. Demonio, you know, you were excited. We talked a little bit about it. You're from France, first time being in Germany. So let everybody know how you feeling. You know, little things like that can make you feel confident because you're doing these things that maybe aren't on camera to help relax you. um, you know, so that is very, very helpful. Working on your writing will help you too. Um, am I prepping anything for Japan? Man, everything's prepped for Japan. No, not quite yet. Not quite yet. There's a lot of time in between. So I'm really curious like how the BLGS is gonna shape up, etc. And what that's gonna look like. But yeah, no, not quite yet. I mean, just enjoying time back. Mm, this stuff is good. Yeah, man. Yep. You know, um, I love that I have the ALGS. I love that they brought their own thing. And let's be honest, it's a clever solution. It's a clever solution. You know, we didn't plan these 4 extra months. So now you got to pivot. Now you might need to add some money in the budget, whatever it is. It's a clever kind of way to do that and still keep people engaged, etc. So we'll see. Future of the ALGS definitely feels like it's uh, bigger and better seems to be the goal, right? So I think we're getting there. Dude, I know. Japan right now would be so interesting. Interesting idea. What if I just upped and went to Japan right now? Like, honey, we're going to Japan. I actually feel bad because of the yen. All right, I gotta give, this food is so good in this house. We have to kind of share a little bit. I'll be right back. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. But I'm definitely excited about that entire space. Food, culture, security. Yeah, man. I've been there before. Have you been, Bri? Okay. Now, we have talked the craziness of Concord. We've talked the ALGS. We have talked about so many of these things. It is time to look ahead. I do want to watch a Deadlock guide though. Maybe while we're eating, we could watch one of those. You know who was there that I got to give love to is Ollie, man, gaming merchant. So he was there. And he's been doing a lot of a little bit of Deadlock stuff. I'm curious. 1 hour and 18 minutes? Wow. I don't know if I need that.
New to MOBAs or new to Deadlock, what you should actually be doing in the game at any one time can be a little confusing. So let's break down how the game evolves minute by minute, covering important events such as small creep spawns, special item spawns, laning phase, ganking, destroying the base, and everything else in between. As soon as the game begins, you'll be assigned a lane. There's 2 duo lanes and 2 solo lanes. You can always see your lane color at the top if you ever forget, and taking the colored zip line will travel you to the lane area. The start of the match is known as the laning phase. During this phase of the game, your main objective will be to get the last hit on enemy troopers, and then shoot their souls as they fly above their heads. Before the 10-minute timer, you'll get souls for last hitting a trooper and souls for hitting the orb that flies above a dead trooper's head. That orb soul reward will also be given to the player that killed the trooper if it floats away without being shot. Whilst killing the enemy can give you an advantage and give you more souls, your main focus early on should be collecting as many souls as possible and stealing as many as you can from the enemy by shooting the orange colored souls that fly above
this
your
is called
own
denying.
troopers' heads when they die. For the first
Just
2
like
minutes,
in Dota
there's nothing really else to do besides being focused on this exchange of fighting troopers and getting a lead in souls on your enemy. The more souls you have, the more powerful items you can buy, and the stronger you'll be
Aaron,
to
my
win
man,
the game.
thank you so
However,
much.
At the 2-minute timer, things will start to change.
It's been a great
The
time
first
hanging with you,
small
man. Thank you
creep
so
camps will
much.
Spawn, and killing these will give you extra soul. Because each wave of troopers will have to take time to travel from the base.
Have a
when
great
they
rest of
spawn,
the day.
If you clear a wave on your lane quick enough, you can then start to fight those nearby camps, get some extra souls, and also purchase items from the shop. Once you kill these small camps, they won't spawn again for another 4 minutes. At the 3-minute marker, new items will appear across the map. The most important are the gold urns that can contain permanent buffs that will stick with you for the entire game. There will be 3 of these on lane and many across the map inside buildings and underground. These are really important, and getting them can give you nice buffs to your stats, and it's better it goes to you and not the enemy. Wooden boxes will also appear that can contain extra souls. Hitting boxes and killing jungle camps will give you unsecured souls. These will slowly trickle into your main soul balance, but if you die, all unsecured souls will drop on the floor and can be collected by the enemy. Luckily, if you get a bunch of unsecured souls, you can go back to your shop and buy items with the unsecured souls, so make sure to go to the shop as quickly as you can. In the early laning phase, don't spend too long out of your lane early game. And unlike some MOBAs, you're really rewarded for pushing out towers in Deadlock as early as you can, and especially destroying the walker early. Destroying each walker will open up an extra item slot which can be used for any item. Whilst focusing on these objectives, make sure to keep getting last hits on minions and getting as many souls as possible. No matter what's going on in the game, you should always be keeping an eye on the minions nearby and trying to get as many souls as you can. The only other objective besides getting these souls is then destroying the enemy towers and walker and pushing into their base to win the game. But you won't be getting to that point just yet. If you are winning on your lane in the early game though, you can start to look at doing other things around the map to help your team and yourself get a lead. Firstly, at the 7-minute mark, medium-sized and large-sized camps will spawn. These are tougher but give more soul rewards. The medium camps will respawn 6 minutes after being defeated, and the big camps 8 minutes after being defeated. If you've already destroyed your lane's tower, you can start to think about moving to other lanes to help them. Before the 10-minute marker, it's best to focus on helping another solo lane. That's because before the 10-minute timer, if you have 1 or 2 heroes on a lane, all souls collected in that lane will be given to both players, essentially duplicating the souls given to your team. So a good gank on a solo lane will help get your team the most souls. But if you have 3 or more players on a lane, the souls will instead be split up and spread out equally across those players. So try to avoid spending too much time on a lane if there's 3 or more players on a lane. At the 10-minute mark, that will change though, along with many other things around the map. Firstly, new temporary...
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I am excited to play. I don't know what that's gonna look like, but I really want to play. I haven't played yet. I'm itching for a MOBA. Like, I like MOBA, man. I like a MOBA. So we'll see what's up. But now we got a little Apex going on. I appreciate you guys hanging with me as well. I know we have probably time for 1 or 2 of these games before we head out, but I wanted to touch base, get a little Apex, close out the stream, and let you guys know it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun over these next weeks. We got a lot of stuff going on. I cannot wait. I truly cannot wait. All right. Welcome back, Apex Legends. Big team deathmatch. Wait, I don't think I've played this in a minute. Let's get it. Come on now. Oh my God, it's been so long since I played Apex. Yeah, you know, and it makes me think, actually, going back to like the Apex thing, it might actually be worth considering that, like, I don't know, literally, like, coaches make these decisions. Guys, really, really enjoyed it. Yo, Proficient, what's up? Sorry, hold on. Used to cast Gears for esports, right? What was the transition to Apex? I used to cast Paladin. Yeah, not Gears. Yeah, transition was good. Yeah, I felt good. I had a good time. Apex was not a hard thing to transition to whatsoever, because hero shooters, like, I had a lot of experience with just what that looked like. And so when you combine that with what we were talking about, you know, Apex wise. All right. So, oh. Now I'm out in the open. Am I solo here?
Recharging shields.
Care package being delivered.
Giving my shields a recharge.
Recharging shields.
No. Oh man, so this is pretty fun. Wow, dude, really?
No escape.
Ready, set, go!
Being delivered. Sponsored by Shadows.
Charging on my shields. Recharging.
Oh, rough. All right, so I heal up. I kind of didn't realize that.
Must go faster.
Care package being delivered. Sponsored by Shadows.
Man, I keep getting totally like naded. Let's keep this fight going though. No. Darn. Bummer. Like, I didn't juke him out at all, but I feel like I hit a couple of nice.
Attention. A team has half the points.
Using grapple.
Dude, did I just mess that up? I totally messed that up. Really? I can't tell if there's.
Must go faster.
No escape.
Sponsored by Shedlox.
Giving my shields a recharge.
I was born in the shadows.
Recharging shields. Charging up my shields.
Care package being delivered. Sponsored by Shedlox.
Here I go. Charging up my shields. Halfway to winning. Giving my shields a recharge. Must go faster.
Oh! They're getting ready. What the? Ain't no way that dude just did that. No way.
Must go faster.
Oh, no, I'm tapping. I'm tapping. I'm not holding. My bad. I think I'm trying to be surgical with it. Oh, see, that doesn't work, man. No, I just gotta adjust. Oh, we lost. What a kill. What a kill. Bro, that is wild. I actually really like that mode. Just to jump back in and play. Top two. Top damage in my team. Second top. Third top damage overall. It's okay. That was pretty fun. I see, you know, and there's enough modes in Apex where you can have like Path being the right kind of player, the right kind of legend for that mode to exist. It's not like, you know, Path and or Octane need to be the best in every mode. You know, that's another way to think about it. I know these really popular characters make us think that, but it's not actually the case, guys. Also, I wanted to do a period of, I'll play, I could alter. I wanted to do one of these little moments on stream, maybe next stream, where I use my green screen. I don't know if now's the moment. I don't think it is, but I kind of was curious about setting it up. Also, I know we, during my break and everything, a lot of people headed out on YouTube, but how do we feel about it? For those who are still here, you guys enjoyed this one? I feel like with a content plan that, as much as I love the sponsor, like just kind of solely around the content, I think it'd be interesting. Ooh, ow, ow, whoa, 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 whoa. Imagine. Oh, wait, what the heck? What? That looks sus. Bro, I'm getting aimed from that. Is that the same person? Not sus at all, just bad spot.
Attention, delivering care package sponsored by Chevrex.
Good job, friend.
Well, at least I got that dude up there.
I came back without your help. Neat.
Care package being delivered, sponsored by Chevrex.
How come I'm not healing? What? No way. No. Ah.
I would say thanks, but I brought myself
A little
back,
frustrating.
So no thanks.
Enemy here.
We're halfway.
Pick me up. Taking us to new heights, new team.
Care package being delivered, sponsored by Chevrex.
Lucky.
Who's ready to fly on a zip line? I am.
Fire in the hole.
No. Come on, man. Yo, this is chaotic. Oh my god, we're losing again. Big time. Big time. Oh my god, wait, what? Did you see that?
Attention, delivering sponsored by Chevrex. Attention, a team is speaking victory.
Shields recharging.
Kind of hard to hear.
Care package being delivered. Sponsored by Chevrex.
Alright. You can't put a good lassie down. Shields recharging.
Contact with hostile.
No! Yo, we almost brought that back. We almost brought that back, guys. Oh, unlucky.
They were just giving them kills, bro.
We have our Apex champions.
We almost brought that back. Oh. All right, one more. For sure.
Damn, babe. 14?
That's what I'm saying. Our team was just ass.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah, trash, for sure, trash. I love it. Really? Damn. Awesome. All right, guys, let's get this dub right here. Come on now. Let's get this dub right here. Let's go.
Today smells like victory.
Let's go, fam.
Pretending to smell. Sniff, sniff.
No breath to steady. No heart to calm. Perfection.
Is better than one.
All right, let's go. Let's try. Ooh, wait. Rampage into it. Ooh. Okay.
Thermite grenade out.
I'm not hearing as many. Uh-oh.
Making contact with enemy. Recharging shields.
Facing a gate.
No, I didn't want to do that. Whatever.
Contact with hostile.
Oops.
Making contact with enemy. Recharging shields.
So hard to see, man.
I came back without your help.
Not caught. Like a rat in a trap.
Using grapple.
Enemy close.
Hostile close.
Okay.
Contact.
Going out a gate.
Whoa! They followed me that fast?
Enemy
Dang, I didn't realize that. That's lame.
Contact with hostile. Using grapple.
Here we go, guys.
The enemy is moving in. Found by my hand.
Thermite grenade out. Arc star out. Giving my shields a recharge.
I've been... I was behind the 8-ball on that, for sure. What? Oh my god, I'm so far out. And now you're in your Raynday hurt. Hal is out and you're in for Falcons because Hal wants the competitive Candy Crush. See, you know what? Finally, someone's bringing the hard-hitting news. Like, in my opinion, that's what we've needed.
Here's a gate for any crashes.
Like, in my eyes, how do I do that more often?
Frag out.
Do I just gotta look at the bottom and like then I get to the ceiling or something? Is that what it is? This is definitely a dope way to like get aggressive too, you know.
Finding them.
Throwing thermite grenade. Giving my shields a recharge.
Setting a gate.
Oh, dude. How does this help? How does this help a guy? My goodness. A lot of setup here. We still are going to win, though, because if I just play normal...
Throwing frag. We have half the points needed to win. Delivering thermite.
Maybe not a good place to go? I got no idea.
Void Nexus here. We should use it. Heads up, we're not alone.
I'm back, and this time
Frag out.
slipping through the void nexus.
Nice.
Recharging shields.
I am activating a void nexus.
Hostile right here.
Can this not be controlled?
Contact with target. Frag out.
What am I freaking looking at, dude?
Putting out a gate.
Releasing an arc star.
Shields recharging. Hold on.
Zipline deployed.
How did he get there? There. Yeah.
Recharging shields.
Is there a reason I can't go to my own void nexus again, or what? I wonder, like, what was that about? I wasn't even paying attention. I was just...
Rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated.
Why can't I hit it? Strange.
Thermite grenade out. Recharging shields. Grappling. Contact with target. Recharging shields.
Found by my hand. Frag out.
Attention. The team is nearing victory.
recharge.
Unlucky. Dang, this was not a good map for the altar. Thank you so much, Latino Knight. That was really funny. Yeah, this guy went and got 100 kills. Oh.
Next champions.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Yeah, no. Alter, man, I gotta put some more thought process into that, man. So all right, we're gonna try one more. I would like to end on a win. If not, it's okay. We're gonna shut YouTube down for sure. May end up doing something with Twitch. So if you guys want to come on over after that, let me know. But this will be the last game for YouTube. And let's get a dub. Let's get a dub, guys. Come on. Hey, babe. Candle feast the flame. Oh, and stop. Get out the fault dreams together. Put them all together. And I can't explain. Oh, yeah.
You could say I'm looking to make a bit of a scene.
There's a win out there waiting for us. You can't sell problematic without ME.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuse.
Gonna drill some sense into you. Target spotted. Frag out.
Knuckle cluster out. Here comes the old knuckle cluster.
Gonna drill some sense into you.
So annoying, bro. They already got a Watson fence up there. Did not realize. Yeah, I'm about to siege that.
Going to phase.
Firing arc stock.
Yeah, wait. Recharge my shield.
Stand back, knuckle cluster fire.
Really? I died too? What is happening? Oh my god, I gotta go the other way. You can't. You can't even. It's ridiculous.
Give us 6. Recharging my shields. Recharging my shields, Cuzzy.
Here comes the old knuckle cluster.
I'm back, you egg. Let's scramble some food.
Oh my gosh. So many devotions out there.
Launching me knuckle cluster. Launching me arc star.
Wrecking balls rolling. Always knew I had the biggest balls around here.
Knuckle cluster out.
Why? Here comes the drills.
Serving him a knuckle sandwich.
Dude. I cannot freaking get in this thing.
A team has half the points needed to win.
Egg here. Let's go here.
Attention. Delivering
Charging my
care
shields,
package
Cuzzy.
sponsored by Sharks.
Need help.
No freaking way.
Strike out. More jumping.
Knuckle cluster out.
Look out, grenade. Drills ripping through.
Attention. Delivering care package sponsored by Sharks.
Recharging my shields, Cuzzy. Void running.
Sponsored by Sharks.
Wait, how'd I almost die?
Recharging me shields.
Wrecking balls on. Get on or get the hell out of our way.
Serving him a knuckle sandwich.
Where's the drone? Where's that drone? Hardeki just retired? Yeah, I know. That's crazy. Deadlock, man.
Strike out.
Care package being delivered. Sponsored by Sharks.
I don't know if they have it yet. Like,
Knuckle cluster out. Launching me arc star.
Recharge my shields.
Knuckle cluster out.
Devotion here.
this dude's back. Oh my god, it's so annoying.
Attention. Delivering care package sponsored by Sharks. Attention. A team is nearing victory.
Recharging my shields.
Knuckle cluster firing. Launching the arc star.
Need to recharge my shield.
Stand back. Knuckle cluster's firing.
Enemy here.
Care package being delivered. Sponsored by Chevrex.
Need to recharge my shield.
Serving him a knuckle sandwich.
Oh no, we lost that. Hey, yo, headphone, what up, man? What's up, dog? Thank you so much. Appreciate you. How did we lose that?
Champions.
Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, what a freaking run. So close. 73 to 75. We're one train away. All right, YouTube. I love you guys. Yo, big shout out to you, man. Been a great face of the community since the early days, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by the stream. I'm glad everybody's been hanging out as well. It means a lot. We've had a great time. I want to do more of these. I definitely want to consider doing more, YouTube focused live streams when we do live streams. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to keep it going on Twitch. So if you guys want to join me over there, feel free. If you're just still browsing YouTube, you want to hang out on that platform, all good. The reason is I'm going to end the sponsored portion of the stream. I might play a little bit of Deadlock on my end and learn that, get just like a little bit, like sneak peek for the last little bonus hour, bonus 30, 45 minutes. So we'll see. But I appreciate you, YouTube. You guys are amazing. Everyone's been hanging out. Dee who just came through, Amy as well, Sam, Aaron, Brian, all of you who have been around. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, guys. This is a really good kind of proof of concept for streaming on YouTube. So thank you. Thank you. And you know I love you. Keep it locked here. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned. And as always, remember to never give up, never stop gaming. And I will see you all next time. Now, what I want to do here, by the way, so you know, is I want to do a highlight video of this moment where we did our tier list, okay? So let me get that going. Ooh. Am I not capable of doing that? Oh, no. All right, well, this might have to be a different editing process then, because it looks like I might have an issue with that. If so, that would be frustrating, but if it is what it is. It looks like I might have been too late to do that. Let's see. Hey, they can see where the ring is going. So that's a huge... Yeah, I might have been too late to do that. So we'll see. I would love to have done it. It seems like maybe it's only giving me to the 30th, like 2 hours from now exactly. So we'll see what we can do. All right, guys. Take care. Head over to Twitch, okay? If you guys want to hang out. Do I need an assistant? It's possible.